So, fellas, today we're covering an insufferable leftist by the name of the Soy Pill. He, without question, grapes women. He has to. I refuse to believe his constant antagonization, rapid-fire lies, obfuscation, and gaslighting are reserved for only outside the bedroom. He gets off on wasting people's time talking to him. It stimulates him to say something obviously wrong and then talk over his interlocutor, acting like he doesn't know why you're so mad. I actually just saw Rob Noerr chew his ass out a few days ago for lying to Rob just to get a debate with him.
I don't give a shit.
No, that's fine.
Finish
that's
up,
fine.
and then I'll
I'm
tell
not
you.
criticizing you. The point is, like, here's my opinion on it. Also, go fuck yourself because you're a hypocrite. And
Because
just
I
not
owe
talk to
you
them at all.
nothing. Because I owe you nothing, and I'm tired of engaging in good faith to people that are clearly bad faith. And particularly when it comes to mean tweets, I don't give a fuck. I don't think it's an important topic anyways, and I'm not going to owe anyone these answers. And listen, you want to give me advice? My advice to you is if you want to have honest conversations with people, don't enter into them with farcical lies and then say them early enough into the debate where you force their hand. And I just want to say, I don't believe a fucking word you say. If you steal $10 from me, and then you're like, I find out you stole it, and then you're in my house next week and $10 comes up missing. I don't care how sincere you seem to be when you say, trust me, bro, I didn't steal the $10 this time. Once a thief, always a thief. Once a liar, always a liar. Go fuck yourself.
Can you understand, though, like, why I
No,
said
fuck
it at
yourself.
the beginning?
I don't give a shit to even attempt to understand
like,
you.
Oh,
Fuck you.
damn. But, like,
I'm not even attempting to understand you.
I do. All right.
Done
It seems like
talking
you're
to
just
you.
kind of like shutting down.
Done.
And looking at the Soy Pill's YouTube channel, his videos include a thumbnail with Donald Trump with a Hitler stash, and the videos that read Ben Shapiro is racist and Matt Walsh is racist. So, I'm sorry, and Elon Musk is racist. So he's a very good faith interlocutor, okay? The entire time he's lying to you and acting like a good guy and acting reasonable, this is what's in the background, yada yada yada, we've seen it a million times. Let's start with the Soy Pill having no idea who Derek Bell is. If you don't know who Derek Bell is, that's fine. But the things that he advocates for, he should know who Derek Bell is, and I'm gonna show you who Derek Bell is, but here we go.
Actually, Derek Bell would disagree with you.
I have no idea who that is.
He's one of the founders of critical race theory. The argument was, from Derek Bell, that they said Plessy v. Ferguson was wrong. He says there should be black-only schools, there should be black-only businesses.
Okay, this guy sounds like a radical racist person. I don't like this person.
But this is...
Well, everyone on the right agrees with you. School professor Derek Bell in his epilogue to When Race Becomes Real, Black and White, so he wrote an epilogue in the article from Harvard Magazine from 2002, Abolish the White Race. The good news is that there are now a host of writers and a growing number of courses and workshops designed to enlighten white people as to the real benefits and the great cost of their property in whiteness. Race Marxism. Swap out property, which is class, with race, whiteness. That's where he ties property to whiteness. So he's a communist, he's a Marxist. But I mean, is he even well-known or highly regarded? Corporate Marxism!
Professor Bell wasn't just any professor. To this day, he's highly regarded for his groundbreaking work on race theory and the law, and he urged his students to take risks to further their beliefs. So this week, we want to know about a teacher who inspired you in ways big or small. Let us know in the comments below or with the hashtag WGBHRewind. Not only does today's clip feature Professor Bell sharing his principled decision, it also includes an unaired introduction from a familiar face.
Okay, WGBH, with Derek Bell's Harvard-educated race theory and telling students to take risks, I'm listening. But who's this familiar face he's talking about?
Now, how did this one man do all this? How's he accomplished all this? He hasn't done it simply by his good looks and easy charm. Although he has both in ample measure. He hasn't done it simply because of the excellence of his scholarship. Although his scholarship has opened up new vistas and new horizons and changed the standards of what legal writing is about. Open up your hearts and your minds to the words of Professor Derek Bell.
Hey, fellas! Yeah! Kill Whitey!
black-only businesses.
Okay, this guy sounds like a radical racist person. I don't like this person.
But this is
Based on what you're describing.
This is critical race theory, the book. This is what the universities are teaching. Derek Bell is a prominent thought leader on this.
In DEI course. I literally took gender studies. I didn't learn about Derek Bell, maybe, but I don't think this is what's like the universal like university. First of all, the fact that I am familiar with so many college people and no one has told me this before. I'm not saying this isn't real, by the way.
But you haven't studied critical race theory.
No, I'm saying this is not like the universally applied theory to most of these places where like, yeah, we need to segregate society.
How much time have you spent in the black community?
A lot, actually.
Yeah, he didn't learn this in DEI course, and he hangs out with black people all the time. He's very familiar with the community. So I've only shown you him in small blips because he's really difficult to listen to, and I have. So let me show you a tactic that he uses. In order to make a comparison, you have to compare two different things, and then you draw the similarity between those two different things. He has to use this on women in his personal life. He keeps saying it's not the same thing, and it's like, well, yeah, it's two different things, and they're being compared. So he definitely just says, yeah, but that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. Listen to how frustrating of a person he is.
I think it happens sometimes, but I don't think it's the exact same thing. For example, like you talked about, if you have a black-only community space, I don't think that is the same thing. As much as I say, you don't, but that's not the same thing as white privilege. We should make something better is not the same as, hey, let's cut the entirety of the education department and the
Bill Clinton a liberal?
Bill Clinton is a liberal, but
Bill
he would
Clinton
not do
and
what
Al
I just
Gore
described, which is what Trump is doing. So, like, this isn't the same thing.
Getting rid of waste, fraud, and abuse, cutting back on
You can say vaguely,
bloat.
I think we should make things more efficient. Probably everyone would agree with that. But when you see what it's borne out in the Trump administration, that's very different from what Bill Clinton did. Like, these are not the same things at all.
He did a lot more, yeah.
No, he didn't do a lot more. You can say he made things more efficient, but this is not the same thing as
No depth, no descriptive attempts at what he's talking about. We just keep looping back to it's not the same thing, it's not the same thing. Just a rhetorical tactic. Very boring to listen to. That's a feature, not a bug. So let's revisit the Trump Very Fine hoax and see what happens, and see how much he knows about Charlottesville and the Unite the Right rally.
The Adam Conover clip itself.
Right.
And
the idea, you did research it, and you did know the full quote.
Yeah. So, okay. So some people, especially Chuck Schumer, he did this. He said, Donald Trump called neo-Nazis fine people, which is not the quote, right? It's, like
they should be condemned.
Yeah, fine people on both sides. And then, but I'm not talking about this. But like, I think that completely ignores the context of the white nationalist who organized the rally, who was there on that day, and all the Identity Europa, the KKK, like the idea that there were fine people in this group is kind of like what everyone was upset about, is that he didn't condemn them on August 12th when white nationalists killed a guy.
When white nationalists killed a guy, it was one guy driving a car through a crowd of people, and he killed Heather Heyer. Hail Heather. So it's not when white nationalists killed a guy, it's when a white nationalist drove a car through a crowd of people and killed Heather Heyer. He has no idea what he's talking about, but he's being polite and wrong. So allow me to be rude and correct and show you what happened. So our boy's got some pins in his way. He's got to get rid of them. So what do? You wind up, you let her loose, you put some stank on it, and look at the result. Wow. There's still some pins left, but he put some stank on it. You see, reporting from NBC News, James Alex Fields found guilty of killing Heather Heyer during violent Charlottesville white nationalist rally. So he doesn't care that she died, he doesn't know anything about her, he knows that someone died, but he's gonna act like he gives a single solitary shit about Charlottesville and what happened there and the racists and the Nazis and the white nationalists. Go get handsy somewhere else, you creep. But let's focus on what's really important to the soy pill. Teaching butt sex to kids.
Traditional liberals were not in favor of whatever the weird shit y'all are doing now. Like cutting kids' balls off.
Well, I mean, trans stuff is new, but the point is that the policies of like
and that's my point. 20 years ago, if you went to a liberal and said, actually, we had a big video with like 500,000 views. We talked about how in like 2010 or whatever, College Humor made a video with Jack Black and a bunch of celebrities where they said, it's for Prop 8. And then the fake conservatives in it said they'll teach kids about sodomy. And the liberals go, that's a lie.
They'll teach kids about, like gay sex.
But they do.
Why would they not do that?
So back in 2008, 2010.
I would disagree with that ad then, because like, of course, if gay people have sex with sodomy, then why would you say, yeah, sex ed, but not for
liberals back
sodomy?
then said, we are not going to teach kids about sodomy.
That's dumb.
And that's why 9 million Obama voters switched. I think they should not teach children about sodomy.
Why not?
Children should not be taught about fetish, kink, things that can destroy your body.
Sodomy is not a fetish or a kink.
Yes,
it's the way that primarily gay people have sex.
It's not sexual reproduction.
Okay.
It's sexual gratification.
Right, but if you're trying to prepare children for the outside world, and this is something that might happen if they're gay, don't you want them to be safe and know about it?
No, you shouldn't teach kids about gay and anal sex.
Engage in that.
So anal sex in any circumstance is damaging to the body and
You
can
think
kill
that
you.
gay people should never have sex?
You mean like anal sex?
Yeah.
That you should not have. No one should. Ask a doctor.
So yeah, okay. So no.
Go to a doctor and ask.
Okay, so if we have a philosophy on gay sex can cause harm because it can, like there
Does.
are the colon cancers, like incontinence, there's things that can happen.
Gastrointestinal infections
Right,
and
sure.
sepsis
So
and
bad
death.
things can happen. So if we're dealing with the reality of, okay, however, there exist all these gay people that are having sex, wouldn't you rather them at least understand how to do that the safest possible way than not do it at all? Because you can't prevent it from happening, right?
We
can't Thanos snap gay sex out of the world. People like gay sex. I'll say that.
You shouldn't teach children to have gay sex.
You're not teaching them to have gay sex. You're saying, hey, if you are gay and you happen to have a gay encounter, this is the safest way to do it.
This guy crapes. He has to absolutely crape. Imagine him with his girlfriend being like, no, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm teaching you the safest way to do it. This is all about safety. Let me just teach you a nice, safe way how to do it. Because, no one can just look this up on the internet. You need someone to instruct you as to how to do it. It's not teaching them to do it. It's teaching them how to do it safely. So let's remove the word safely. It's teaching them how to do it. No. Teach them how to do it safely. It's not teaching them how to do it. Soy Pill has the uncanny ability to leave his body at any moment to say whatever he has to say to further his narrative or goal. Kind of a red flag.
Here's
Right, so don't do
Hold on.
this.
They
Hold on.
draw it out in like the graphics.
I went to a
progressive.
Bro, I'm a liberal, man.
Wait,
I don't think you should teach children to have gay sex.
Sorry, I'm sorry. You're a liberal, but you're saying the way that most, if not all, gay people engage in sex with each other shouldn't be done. That's not a liberal position.
Traditional liberalism.
Dude, come on.
Let's try this again.
No, you don't agree
in
with the way that gay people have
in the
sex.
year
This
2000,
is not. Look,
do you believe that if in 2004 you went to a Democrat and said we should teach children about having anal sex, they would agree with you?
this is not.
Yes
what I
or
said.
no?
You said that.
Yes
no,
or no?
We already agreed on this. You said it was.
So
in the
that's my
commercial.
position.
Yeah.
Stop acting like you
you're
can't
saying-
comprehend these
You're saying
things.
that gay people shouldn't have gay sex.
People of any types, male or
Right.
female, should not put
And
things in
that's
their
not a
bum
liberal
bums.
position from 20 years ago. No one said gay people shouldn't have sex. They said we shouldn't teach it in schools, apparently, from this commercial.
People should not
That's
be putting
the
stuff up their
position.
butt.
Okay, well, they're doing it, and if they're doing
shouldn't.
it, I want them to be safe about it.
You know what else we
Shouldn't
don't
do it.
we talk about in school the kids shouldn't do? Smoking. Be that smoking cigarettes on average takes 11 years off your life expectancy. Not good. Sodomy, being a practicing homosexual, removes 20 years on average from your life expectancy because of the things he's mentioning, not to mention the proliferation of STIs within the homosexual community and
You know what
things
stops
of
that
that
is
nature.
education. And,
That's
like,
not
how to have
true,
safe
actually,
sex,
though.
you know?
Unfortunately, I wish it were true, but it's not.
I'm-
So,
Okay.
promoting
that
unhealthy lifestyles
Telling
to children
people how
is
to
bad.
have safer sex doesn't stop the spread of STIs. What
Clearly, no.
do you mean clearly no?
Because
Is AIDS as big as it was in the 80s? Like, what?
because of massive viral subsidies, not because of condom proliferation.
That's the Jack Black
to
movie.
be black or gay. No, nothing could go wrong. So join us in this song of happy days for the gays. Nothing can go wrong.
Look, nobody's watching. It's time to spread some hate and put it in the Constitution.
Now, how?
Proposition 8.
Proposition 8. Great!
People listen to our plea. They'll teach kids about sodomy.
This is making me hate liberals.
That wasn't
I
right.
hate theater.
That's a lie. But it works, so we don't care. Now,
In California,
That
said
wasn't
no.
right. That's a lie, but it worked, so we don't care. Now you are sitting here telling us that's a good thing to do.
I think it is good to teach people that if they're going to engage in sex a certain way, they should do it safely.
So this guy definitely drapes. I mean, just think of it from this perspective. This is going to be uncomfortable, but so isn't butt sex. So imagine a boy is 14 years old and the mindset is, well, you're going to do it anyway, so let's start ruining your butthole as soon as possible. You know what? You're gonna do it anyway. Your butthole's still growing and developing. Your butthole's still growing. So you're gonna start ruining your butthole anyway because you can't control these urges, which we could say is dangerous or we could say is sinful, but either way, you shouldn't ruin your butthole at 14. Well, that's not gonna ruin the butthole at 14. Well, over time it ruins the butthole. That's all it does to the butthole. It's dragging things out of the butthole, leading to a prolapse. And a 14-year-old boy shouldn't learn. Well, I guess what a 14-year-old boy should learn is it's gonna ruin your butthole. Like, just because something feels good doesn't mean you should do it. Yeah, well, it feels good, so they're gonna do it. This guy totally drapes. Imagine him having this conversation with an intimate partner, and he's like, yeah, but it feels good, and we're gonna do it anyway, so might as well ruin that pooper. Like, the Christians might be onto something. Your pooper is what gets rid of the evil. It's what gets rid of the demons. It's waste. It's excess waste that you have to get rid of every day. And these communists want to make sure the way that you get rid of these demons is severely impacted. Just the constant rationalization of no matter how degenerate the activity is screams a red flag. But, well, let's say Soy Pill is in a relationship with Tim Pool. Let's say Tim Pool has been ruining Soy Pill's butthole for like 3 years. And Soy Pill is going to make up an accusation of cheating against Tim Pool because he gapes. This guy 100% gapes. Keep that juxtaposition in mind. Soy Pill is about to repeatedly accuse Tim Pool of being a paid Russian asset with absolutely no evidence, based on only unsubstantiated rumors.
If Russia gave you tens of millions of dollars because they thought, and I think you were tricked by these people, right?
That story's fake.
Well, hold
on. That story's not true. It never happened.
The Edward Gregorian thing, right? Like
yes, it's not real. Never happened.
It never happened?
Never happened.
They never tried to host your
No, you guys believe fake cult bullshit because you live in
paranoid... This is from the DOJ. Maybe I should
They dropped it.
Them. They dropped it completely.
There's no evidence. No evidence was ever released, and there's no case.
They dropped the case completely.
The two people that I can't. I'm not going to speak out of turn. I will just say this: there's the case is dropped.
Turn if the case is dropped, right? Like
I'm not going to.
Now, right?
How about you let me finish talking?
Well,
like what are you doing?
I'm just asking if this is all fake.
The case is dropped.
Okay.
There's no evidence.
Why can't you talk about it?
I'm talking about it right now.
Dude, this guy puts a knuckle in, and the entire time you're bargaining with him about not putting in the second knuckle, he's shoving it in. He's asking questions constantly while talking over Tim Pool. Now, are you kind of starting to see what I'm saying? No. He never uses these tactics in the bedroom where he's constantly accusatory, asking questions, not letting them answer, like, ladies, which none of you are in the audience, but you've known a guy like this that's pretty pushy, doesn't care about the truth, always closing the deal. That's what he's doing. This is an abusive man.
But you said I'm not going to speak out of turn. Like
beyond what I can say, I will not speak out of turn for other people.
Okay.
What I can say is there's no case, there's no evidence. As far as anyone can tell, it never happened, and it was dropped almost immediately the day they announced it.
It was dropped immediately?
Almost immediately after they announced it, the case was gone.
I don't know if you have a Jamie. Can we pull it up? Because I want to see.
Pull what up?
Pull the fact that the case was dropped.
How do you do that?
How do you know it was dropped?
Because I have lawyers that were working with the DOJ on it.
It wasn't reported anywhere, not a single person?
Yes.
Said?
Oh, so you didn't cheat on me? Prove it. Prove that I did cheat. Here's proof that the person who claimed I cheated had no evidence and nothing to follow up with. Oh, really? They didn't? Yes! Give him a few years, he's gonna have a scandal, I'm telling you.
Indeed, because the story wasn't real to begin with, and it was picked up by a bunch of fucking retards.
Made it up.
The DOJ,
the DOJ made it. What was it?
I will tell you this.
DOJ made it up to go after you.
I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, but who's making? If it's completely fake, where did it come from?
That's an interesting fucking question, isn't it?
Yes, because my understanding was I think you were deceived. I watched your response to it.
What's your evidence any of it happened?
I don't. The DOJ report. That's all I have.
What DOJ report?
The DOJ PDF that they released with all the different names. It said that Russia was trying to pay people through a media company, funneling money to host your content. This show, by the way.
What's the evidence?
I don't have the fucking links in there.
There was never any evidence.
Okay, so where did it come from? What do you mean? I'm confused.
Okay, so what do you mean, where did it come from? I'm confused. And then he keeps talking. Okay, what do you mean? Should be a response. Where did it come from? Should be a response. This is a very psychologically abusive person. You might not see it, you may have been on the receiving end of it, but this is just toxic female behavior.
Look, all I'm saying is the story was, and if this is false, sure. The story was the Russian government thought it behooved them to pay you money because your talking points on Ukraine were indistinguishable from their propaganda. Now, if that's not true, maybe...
It's not true. That's not even in the indictment.
When you scream, Ukraine is the enemy of the people, that is essentially Russian propaganda. No, you literally said Ukraine is the enemy of this country or whatever, right?
Because they bombed the Nord Stream pipeline according to Germany.
The point is that
you know so little about the Ukrainian conflict.
What do you mean?
That you like, I have an issue. my whole life with ill-informed people propagandized by the government to advocate for foreign intervention in other countries.
Why is this? What am I propaganda? Like, tell me what my
you don't
brainwashed
know
position. Because in good faith, I'm asking you, what do you think?
Does it maybe? Is there maybe some kind of issue pertaining to if the U.S. aggresses?
You know, just tell me. I haven't read the whole thing.
Yeah,
since,
like
3 months ago or something.
So, after Tim Pool chews his ass out for having no idea what he's talking about, Soy Pill asks Tim Pool what he's talking about. Tim Pool explains for a minute and a half.
All of these tensions simmered down and halted. The response from the left, the Democratic Party, was largely that Donald Trump was supporting Russian interests by removing our involvement from Ukraine.
I asked what specifically about my position is completely fabricated or brainwashed, but I'm also
any of this.
But I'm also But I'm also questioning everything you're telling me now because first of all, you have been in this industry way longer than me. I would always concede and cop to the fact that you probably know more about more things than I do, and probably ever will.
Not only do I know more about it than you, I was there twice at the start of the Civil War.
But my question is, if the Russian state media says, "Hey, this person's opinions are so aligned with ours, we want to give them millions of dollars," why should I believe you?
That's made up.
And your evidence of it being made up is
this fucking guy scrapes. He scrapes. What? What's your evidence of it being made up? Try to think of a more gaslighting question. Prove to me my accusation is made up. I don't know how these conversations are normal and people don't notice these things. It's because he talks very quickly, and I unfortunately listen to what these people say, but there's very small things like that that tells you the character of a person with laser accuracy. It's a witch hunt. Soy Pill will trust a woman's word after she's drowned in his own load. Leftists like him love antagonizing and not letting someone speak. To a moral person, that's embarrassing. To a leftist with no limiting principles, it's erotic sophistry. They love wasting your time and calling it a good faith conversation. This is Soy Pill's outro.
But you shout out whatever you want to shout out. Hopefully we can have you at our live shows in the future.
I'll call it. So I'm the Soy Pill on YouTube. I do video essays. If you think I was even remotely good faith here, please go watch them.
Well, I don't think you're good faith. And until I see your evidence that I made up that you're a rapist, I don't know what to tell you. Have a good one.